Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, have you ever reflected on how just 3 dedicated days at the start of every new month could change the rhythm of your entire life? We often look for big changes, but in Islam, it is sometimes the smallest and most consistent acts that bring the greatest blessings. Imagine beginning each month with a spiritual reset, purifying your intentions, strengthening your iman, and preparing your heart for whatever lies ahead. This is not just theory. It is rooted in the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, guided by the words of the Quran, and witnessed in the lives of Muslims across the world today. From families seeking strength in difficult times to individuals building habits of worship, this practice has left a profound mark on generations of believers. Stay until the end, because I will share a prophetic habit that could transform your entire month. Write in the comments if you've ever heard about fasting or special worship for 3 days at the start of each month, and whether you practice it. Real life story. Let's begin with a real moment happening in our world today. In Gaza, where hardship and loss have become part of daily life, many families still gather at the start of each new month to renew their faith. Some choose to fast, others dedicate extra time to prayer, and many raise their hands in dua, asking Allah for safety, mercy, and resilience. For them, these 3 days are not a small tradition. They are an anchor of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, Allah remains close. In Sudan, a young Muslim doctor recently shared his routine online. He explained that he begins each month with 3 days of fasting. For him, it is not just an act of worship, but also a source of strength. He said, "It gives me the patience I need to face my patients, even when medicine and resources are scarce. It's as if my heart becomes calmer and my service more sincere." As this resonates with the words of Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:183. O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain taqwa. Imagine beginning every month with 3 days that anchor your heart and sharpen your taqwa. Tell me in the comments where you are watching from, and if you start your month with a special intention. Prophetic practice. The Prophet ﷺ never left his ummah in confusion about the best ways to connect with Allah. He gave us clear and simple guidance that even the busiest among us can practice. Abu Hurairah reported, "My beloved, the Prophet, advised me to fast 3 days of every month." Bukhari and Muslim. These 3 days are most often known as the white days. Ayam al-Bid, the 13th, 14th, and 15th of the lunar month, when the moon shines full in the sky. There is beauty in aligning our worship with the natural cycle of creation. Yet, the Prophet ﷺ also allowed flexibility. If you cannot fast on those exact dates, you may choose any 3 days in the month. What matters most is the consistency, not the calendar. This practice connects us to a long chain of prophets who also embraced fasting. Prophet Musa, fasted when he received revelation on Mount Sinai, showing gratitude and humility before Allah. Prophet Dawood, was known for his powerful devotion, fasting every other day, an act the Prophet described as the best of fasts. By practicing just 3 days each month, we are not competing in quantity but building steadiness in our hearts. With Allah, what counts is not how much we do, but how consistently and sincerely we do it. 3 days may sound small, but with Allah, even the smallest consistent act can outweigh mountains of deeds. Have you tried fasting 3 days a month? Share in the comments how it made you feel. Modern testimonies. Let's take a moment to connect this Sunnah with the realities of our modern lives. Around the world, Muslims are finding unique ways to practice these 3 days each month, no matter how busy or demanding their schedules may be. A Muslim student in Canada shared that he makes it a habit to fast during the first 3 days of every month. For him, it's not just an act of worship, but a way to sharpen his focus. He explained, "It feels like I start my month with clarity. Even during exams, I notice less stress because my mind is more disciplined and my heart is more at peace." In Nigeria, a mother of 3 spoke to her local community group about how she dedicates these days not only to fasting but also to reciting more Quran. She described it beautifully. "It's like pressing a reset button for my iman and for my family's barakah. Even my children notice the difference. The house feels lighter, calmer, more blessed." And in the UK, a busy engineer explained how fasting 3 days a month helps him stay grounded in the middle of a hectic work routine. "It prevents burnout," he said, "because those days force me to slow down, to remember Allah, and to realign my priorities." These examples remind us that the Sunnah is not only timeless but also flexible, a gift that can be adapted to every situation. These 3 days can be adapted to your life, whether you're a student, parent, or worker. Allah makes the path easy. Write in the comments your profession or situation and how you could live these 3 days in your routine. Lessons from the Quran. The Quran offers us many examples that show the power of constancy in worship and devotion. One of the most striking is the story of Maryam, a.s. She withdrew in worship, dedicating herself fully to Allah. In her seclusion, Allah provided her with divine sustenance, a reminder that even quiet, consistent devotion does not go unnoticed. Her dedication brought blessings that reached far beyond herself. We also find inspiration in the life of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. His acts of devotion were not grand in appearance, building altars, offering dua, obeying Allah's commands step by step. But those small, steady acts laid the foundation of an entire ummah. His example teaches us that greatness in faith often begins with what seems simple and repeatable. Through these stories, the Quran reminds us that Allah values what is regular and sincere, even if it feels small. It's not about impressing others with big actions, but about consistency and humility before Allah. Even if you can't do a lot, repeat a little, consistently. That is beloved to Allah. Which verse of the Quran inspires you to keep monthly or regular habits? Practical guide. So, how can you begin this practice in your own life? It's simpler than you might think. First, make your niyyah. Intend it sincerely for Allah. Every act of worship begins with the heart. And when the intention is pure, even small deeds become heavy on the scale of good. Second, choose your 3 days. The best days are the 13th, 14th, and 15th of the lunar month, known as the white days. But remember, the Sunnah is flexible. If those dates don't work, you can choose any 3 days within the month. Third, plan your meals. A balanced suhoor will give you energy, and keeping water close at hand during iftar will help your body recover with ease. Finally, add extra worship. Use these days not only to abstain from food and drink, but also to increase in Dhikr, Quran recitation, and even small acts of sadaqah. Don't wait for the next month. Write down your 3 days now. Which 3 days will you choose this month? Share it in the comments so others get inspired. So, what do we learn from this journey? The Sunnah of fasting 3 days each month is not just about hunger and thirst. It's about building discipline, renewing your soul, and strengthening your connection to Allah. These 3 days act as a reset button, preparing your heart and mind for the rest of the month. Think of it this way. When you begin your month with worship, patience, and reflection, you carry that energy into your daily life. Your prayers feel lighter, your challenges feel smaller, and your connection with Allah feels stronger. This is the true gift of following the Sunnah. The small actions, repeated with sincerity, create long-lasting transformation. Now imagine the impact if millions of Muslims around the world practiced this together. At the start of every new month, the Ummah would be spiritually synchronized, each person aligning their heart with Allah, each home filled with more barakah. How powerful would it be if our collective worship rose to the heavens at the same time, month after month? That is the beauty of unity through consistent devotion. If this video inspired you, share it with 3 people you love. You might be the reason someone renews their iman. What other Sunnah practices would you like us to explore in depth in future videos? May Allah accept from us, guide us, and make us among those who are consistent in worship. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.